where we left off the last time. The only currency that's involved here is our attention. And I call them the subroutines, the personality constructs, the ways I move through this collective consciousness to remind myself, to create situations that remind me continually to remember my breath. And focus that into this form, into this human body. The idea of confronting the existential void, you know that? Well, if you're a Zen monk, that would be kind of something to think about. Does the idea of dissolution completely bother you into nothingness or into everythingness? Could you tell the difference? You know, all of these ways of thinking, ways of examining the circumstance of this biological, psychological matrix that we have become. I call it perceptive intelligence, and there's so many ways you can examine something to find its true nature. And I think that's the point of me talking to myself, is just reminding myself continually, look for your true nature. And that's always within yourself. That's the only test of truth that any of us will ever have, is our own visceral, tactile, psychological, the whole reaction becomes as one. And that'll be the test of truth. Does it bring happiness? Does it bring joy? Does it bring satisfaction, fulfillment? I mean, those would be tied to happiness and joy, I think. I mean, not to, whatever we do, chop wood, carry water, chop wood, that Zen concept, no matter what you do, it's how you do it. In the state of consciousness, you do it as an active relationship with the infinite universe as you're doing it. That's what we try to get to in everything in our lives. So everything becomes a movement in relationship with the infinite quantum possibilities of the universe. And you're moving in some kind of at least perceptive harmonic with that. Now, being a surfer, I kind of like the wave formation. I feel it. It's something I can feel with my body. And I allow that waves to move through me. And these are just imaginary constructs of the mind itself, but, stories we tell ourselves. So this is the stories I tell myself. And then I just look at them and say, well, are you going to believe that? So I do go through a process here. But the idea of moving through these, what I see as nexus points of consciousness, they're combined brilliance spreading out into fractal possibilities forever. There's no end to that. And there's a grid, I can perceive kind of from all these vector points of singularities, that's what I perceive them as quintessent points of creation. Spreading out across the infinite canvas of the mind of God. So the questions, and I'll cut this short, I don't want these to be long, so we'll come back. I have more questions, for God's sake. Maybe some answers, or at least we can talk about it. Okay? So now.